Welcome to another episode of Reverse Ambition, a podcast that features those who take a leap of faith to follow their dreams and passion. My name is Kelsey Cooper, aka the Social Broker, and I'm excited to interview a fellow bison, a fellow entrepreneur. He actually is the founder of Where You From Apparel. 718. I'm wearing his 718 t-shirt, hoodie now. Want to hear his journey and want to welcome Mr. Fred Smith. What's up, brother?
What's happening, Kelsey? How you doing, man? Good to see you. It's been a long time.
Long time, man. I'm very excited to hear your story and hear your journey, how you got to where you from where you're from to how you got to where you are right now, being an entrepreneur, a dope entrepreneur. I wear this hoodie every day, bro. I wear it to Target. I wear it in the house. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I don't do is wear it to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I love what, I'm from Brooklyn, so I love representing Brooklyn. So this hoodie, a simple 718 is enough said. That's all people need to know in terms of where I'm from. So, thank you for creating this dope hoodie and dope company, bro. But I want, people to understand your journey, hear your journey. So let me know like where you from, no pun intended, where you grew up, where you went to school, of course, went to Howard, but what you majored in and just tell the story of how you got to where you are right now.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Appreciate being on your show. It's a privilege to catch up with you on your show. Big fan of yours, always have been. And I'm Fred Smith, originally from Springfield, Massachusetts. Grew up playing basketball as a kid. And once when I started playing basketball, I realized that travel was a strong passion that was within me. And I say that because I used to get picked up from school, grade school, every weekend, my cousin and I, and a car will come pick us up and we'll go straight to either the airport or to the train station and head to New York, or we head to Las Vegas, Columbus, Ohio. There was just several different basketball tournaments that we used to attend every weekend. So, once when I started to go to these different places, meeting different kids with different backgrounds and just the vocabulary that other kids from different areas use, I just thought it was so interesting. And then I got into eating, different foods because, some kids had money, others didn't. So, you'll go to their parents' house and they'll cook you shrimp, and instead of iceberg lettuce, you're using arugula. It's like little different things like that.
What cities did you travel to, for these basketball tournaments?
Oh man, you name it. Washington, D.C., as I mentioned, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Utah, Cleveland, Ohio, Philadelphia.
How old were you when you were doing all these traveling, playing ball?
So 10 years old, I started.
Oh, wow.
But I really got into it around 12. That's when
what position you play, by the way?
I was a shooting guard, man. I used to like to score, man.
Okay, I thought you was a two guard. I didn't peg you as a point guard.
No, I said a two. As a shooting guard as a two. Yeah. I definitely like to score. But as I got older and players got bigger and stronger, I had to adjust my game. Because I've been the same size. I'm 6'3", and I've been 6'3" since I was 12.
Yo, that's Curry's size, though. Dog.
Yeah. Well, I don't have Curry skills, unfortunately.
Chef Curry be cooking on the court.
Yeah, that's a great man. But so started playing like really competitively at 12. Started getting better. We started to get nationally ranked, and the better you become, the more cities that you travel to, the more frequently college and universities want to see you play. So I started playing, and that's how I ended up in Washington, D.C. I initially went to UDC. I was a Firebird, played well there. And then I decided I wanted to take the journey over to Howard because—
Great decision, by the way.
You know what? It's actually the best decision I've made to date.
Facts.
And I say that, Yeah, I mean, I say that just because of the student body that I was able to come in contact with on a day-to-day basis.
Mm,
I was so impressed with the knowledge and the background of the kids that went to Howard, especially the fine arts.
mm,
Those are, you know, 'cause they were so creative. And I'm not a
right.
creative type. I can see things and make things better. But I just remember taking a couple courses over in fine arts and watching them perform. And I was just so impressed with the things they used to come up with. And yeah, so Howard, you know, was an amazing experience. That's how you and I met. Um,
What you majored
Prince
in?
David
What you
Starr.
majored in, Howard?
I was a marketing major, man. I was in the School
Okay.
of B. Yeah, you know, so I
School
used
of
to
B,
run
baby.
around. That's right. Miss Hampton and David Stubbs, Terrence Grady, all those guys, Bakari Adams, you know,
Yes,
just
sir.
good people who, and those guys that I just mentioned, you know, their backgrounds are a little different from mine. I grew up with a single parent. My
Mm,
mother did well. However, she had to raise two kids. So it was difficult. We had everything we wanted to have, as loving mother, but you know, they came from, you know, two parent families
right.
with generations of like educators and, you know, physicians. And I was just so impressed by seeing other Black students who, you know, had generations of just different things that you just don't see in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Right.
There's just not a lot of wealth there. You know, there's decent money, but there's no wealth. So
Mm,
just going to Howard was just amazing. And then, you know, I played basketball and we traveled for Howard as well, you know. So
right.
playing and trying to go to school, that also, you know, helped the time management skill. So I was able to carry that on into my day-to-day life. And so far it's been amazing.
So when you graduated from Howard, stopped playing ball, what did you do?
Ironically enough, man, as soon as I graduated, I started a refurbishing company. And it was me and two other gentlemen. We started refurbishing homes in Washington, D.C. And what we did was we hired all our workers from who just got out of prison.
Mm,
And it was a good way to get them acclimated into being, you know, into society. You know, we paid them good money. They worked hard, and it was a great experience.
how much was
And
those?
we did
Those it
well.
was the houses were around Howard, right?
Yeah, all around Howard. Yeah,
And how much they
Howard.
were going for back then?
Maybe 20,000 max. You know, three family homes. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
crying right now because you know
Yeah,
those houses are like $1 million houses now, bro.
yeah. I mean, it's just amazing how, you know, DC has changed so much. You know,
Man,
there's bike
listen.
lanes and there's just so many different things going on. You know, fire pits in the back of people's homes.
Wow,
It's just
luxury,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. It's just
Luxury.
incredible. Yeah, it's incredible to see. But yeah, so we started that company. I did that for about 18 months. We did well, but I just got tired of going to Home Depot and Lowe's every day.
That wasn't your
And, you know,
passion. You were just making money from
nah,
it.
you know, bringing in sheetrock and watching guys work. And it was a good experience, but I just knew deep down inside that it wasn't for me. I was doing it. It was great. It paid well as a company. We did well, but it just wasn't for me. So
Hmm.
I decided that I needed change, and I wanted to go into something different. And I called a friend of mine, Louis Sierra, who was actually trading stocks in Boca Raton, Florida. Childhood friend. He was doing well. Started at Smith Barney, and he just decided that, or he thought that I can become a great trader
Well,
only
why did he think
because,
that?
well, you know, trading is like a fake right, go left type
Mm.
of industry.
Fake right, go
So,
left. Elaborate on that, man.
well, that's what, you know, athletes do. You think they're going right, but they're actually going left, you know?
Mm.
So he knew that I was a pretty decent athlete, but also too, I'm a great chess player. That's
Mm.
my main skill is chess. I love chess. I've been playing since I was probably 7 years old. And generally, guys who are chess players are really good traders because chess,
Mm.
you're thinking 5, 6 step ahead of the next person. So
Get it.
it's kind of like the same skill set. So he knew that, and he told me to come in for the interview, and I got the job, and yeah, things started to explode. Like my whole life changed just from trading. Like
How
after
did it
3 months of
change? How
working.
did it change? More money?
Yeah, yeah, man. It was the first time in my life that I actually had some real money, was able to do some things that I used to watch other people do growing up. And, I just got used to, new lotion. Just, that lotion that I only put on my face, I was able to put on my whole body now.
Yo, that's
But
real,
yeah,
man.
yeah, I'm just, telling you how it was. It was just incredible. And I really enjoyed trading. It was just every day was a new day. You had no idea what was going to happen.
Mm.
Uh, and that was during the time of 9/11. That happened right before the market
Mm.
opened. Yeah. So that right in itself changed the whole market conditions.
Right.
When Barack Obama became president, that changed market conditions. Just so many things that were happening on a day-to-day basis during that time of trading. And it just kept you focused because
Mm.
at that moment in time, if you really worked on your craft, your bank account grew. It was one of
Mm.
those things. So it was a direct correlation. So I was
Nice.
into it and it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
Hmm.
said you did Florida. I think you remember you saying you ended up moving to New York, right? What made you move to New York?
Oh man, there's a couple of things. I was tired of Boca Raton. I
All
was
them
the
old
youngest
people.
person.
No, I'm
Yeah, I was the
joking.
youngest person in no, it's dead true. I was the youngest person in town. So that got tired quick. I would find myself playing Uno on a Saturday night. Never
Ah,
yeah, never made it out.
you were
You
washed.
know, yeah, young kid playing Uno, not out, in the clubs or anything. So the girl that I was dating at the time was also a Howard alum. She was in New York, and it was closer to home, Massachusetts. So it just made sense to go ahead and pack my bags and move to New York. So I asked for a transfer, and it was granted. And
Nice.
yeah, and I've been in New York ever since. With
Nice.
2 stints in Europe. Yeah.
Nice. So
Hmm.
you were trading in New York. Where you live in Brooklyn?
I started in Brooklyn. I was in Brooklyn for a year, and then I went to Forest Hills, Queens, of all
What?
places. Yeah.
How the hell you
Well,
end up in Forest Hill, Queens, bro? That's like suburb, not even suburb. That's
yeah,
like, you settle down, have a family over there.
I was the only one without a child. Yeah, only
Wow.
one. Yeah, but two of the guys that I hung out with, my manager at the time, Bill Jones, and also another childhood friend, Kim Perkins, they both lived in Forest Hills at the time.
Mm.
So I just felt that, I might as well just go live by them because those are basically the two guys that I hung out with. So that's the reason why I
Okay.
ended up going to
I'm sure
Forest
the rent
Hills.
was a little cheaper too.
Much cheaper, much, much cheaper.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, it served myself, served me well. I did it for a few years and then I ended up moving into Manhattan and I've pretty much been in Manhattan ever since.
Wow. Okay. So,
Hmm.
you traded. What made you stop trading? Or did you stop trading?
Well, the economy, '08
Mm.
tanked. A lot of
Mm.
people have short memories about what happened in '08. And think this current climate can't change, and we're seeing what's happening when, you don't have the proper administration
Mm.
taking care of business. So we experienced that in '06 through '08, and then Barack Obama came in and changed a lot of things. And one thing he did change was some of the trading conditions, which affected a lot of traders as well. It was great
Mm.
for the country, but for traders, it just made it a little harder. So it got difficult for me for about 2 years, and then I ended up stop trading in 2010.
Wow.
And
What did you do
yeah,
after?
it's funny. I didn't know what I wanted to do after that, so I just decided to travel the world,
Wow.
and I
Travel the
ended up
world.
traveling.
That's a big
Yeah,
statement, bro. You didn't travel to one country. You said, I'm gonna travel the world.
yeah, yeah. I ended up traveling the world because during my trading years, I had stayed in Russia for almost a year, and then Poland right after that for about
A black
maybe
dude
about.
in Russia and Poland. Wow. How was that
Uh,
experience?
well, I was the official Black Russian. They named the drink after me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, no, the experience was great. I'm actually still really good friends with all the people I came in contact with in Russia. It's not what you think. You hear a lot of negative things about the country, which I'm sure some things are true.
Mm-hmm.
But my personal experience was an amazing experience. I have
Mm.
not one bad thing to say
How
about
did you
that
fit
experience.
in, in places like Russia and Poland? How did you make your connection, and how was like the social life?
The social life was amazing because, I was, basically the only American black there. There's tons of Africans there because
Mm.
they're there studying.
Africans in
Yeah.
Russia?
So, yeah, tons of Africans in
Wow.
Russia. Yeah, yeah, tons. Yeah,
I
and
never
everyone's
see them on.
studying.
I never see them on TV. In terms of I always see
Yeah.
Russian looking people. My ignorance. My
No.
ignorance. My ignorance. I'm so
No,
ignorant right now.
no, it's all good, man. But yeah, there's tons of Africans there, and you talk to them about their different experiences about being in Russia and certain
Mm.
things like that. And a lot of it depending on what area of town you lived in, which city, whether it was St. Petersburg,
Mm.
Kazan, or Moscow. Every area is different in terms of things you can and cannot do as a black citizen in the country of Russia. So
Do you,
once you're
do you
familiar with
experience
all
any
of that stuff,
racism at all? You know.
I didn't. I do know like at night, um, it wasn't great for me to walk around the streets at night alone. So
That's like
in the
anywhere, right?
evenings,
It's
not
like
like there at
Brooklyn.
all.
You know. Right.
Old Brooklyn, old Brooklyn,
Right.
not new
Old Brooklyn.
Brooklyn,
That's
old
right.
Brooklyn.
Not
Yeah,
gentrified
yeah,
Brooklyn.
yeah, not bike lane Brooklyn.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah, Brooklyn reminds me of Milwaukee these days. I tell people,
True facts. Probably because all
yeah,
them folks that live there is from Milwaukee.
lost a lot of its character. But it's all
Right.
good. It's a great place though. But yeah, Russia was great, and then I moved on to Poland. It was a totally different experience. Poland was more like living in the '80s at that time. There
Mm.
was not much technology there, and they were just behind at the time. Now they're fine. I've been there several times since. But I didn't really enjoy Poland like I enjoyed Russia. I thought they would be the
Mm.
same because of the close proximity of one
Mm-hmm.
another. But at the end of the day, it was two totally different experiences, which
Right.
worked out well. Yeah.
Right.
And then after that, I came back to New York, and like I told you, started traveling to New Zealand and Asia and various places like that to just
Wow.
try to figure out what I was going to do next. Yeah.
So 2010, you left, and I think 2010 you traveled the world.
22, yeah.
When did you get back to New York, and how did you, transition, into that non-traveling life once you traveled the world?
Well, it was tough, man, because like I said, I wasn't exactly sure what I had wanted to do, simply because I was an entrepreneur straight out of college. And then
Mm.
right after that, I started trading. And I knew after travel, I didn't want to go back into the financial world. I did know that. I wanted to explore a different industry, but I wasn't exactly sure what industry that would be. So what I ended up doing was reaching out to my mentor, Brian Banks. And it's interesting because he's only a few years older than me,
Mm-hmm.
but he's an executive and I've always respected his knowledge. And
Mm-hmm.
I just sat down with him and asked him, to help me guide me into a new arena. And he thought, he had some connections with different companies. And he just asked me, well, was I interested in the hospitality industry? And I said, I guess I have no idea. What's that?
Mm.
Hotels or airlines? And he says a combination of everything. So he made a phone call. I got an interview with a company, and I started to get into the hospitality industry, and we started doing corporate events, like major corporate events in the New York City area. And
Wow. How
I
big?
was
How
doing
big were
that.
those events? How big were the
Oh
events?
man, the events. I mean, they start at like 25 all the way up to maybe 5,000 people. Yeah,
Wow.
so it varied. Yeah, it varied from
Big budget events, huh?
event to event. Oh yeah, major $1 million events. Yeah,
Wow.
because it was all corporate money. Big
Mm.
banks, big advertising and marketing firms, Ogilvy, City, just Goldman, just you name it. But
Did you
so I was
love
doing
doing
that actually.
events?
You know, It was different. It was totally different, because you're exposed, you're talking to a lot of people. I managed the event. So
Mm-hmm.
several people were talking to me, from florists to DJs to staff to chefs to, you name it. I was the one who had all the answers. So that was different, because I'm so used to just trading and just looking at my computer, and I have to speak to anyone, to an industry where I had to talk to everyone. So it
Mm.
was a little difficult, initially, but like anything else, you get used to it over time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was doing that all the way up into COVID. And once when COVID hit, that all just
Another
stopped.
another another pivot you had to make.
Yeah, man, life is about reinventing yourself. And I always, like that challenge of, reinventing myself. So I've done it several times, and I just felt like it was another thing that I had to do. So I just had to figure out what that new invention was going to be, and that's how I came up with "Where Are You From?"
Wow.
It was an idea I had for years.
Mm-hmm.
It's an idea that I came up with it while I was trekking through New Zealand, and I figured that I was either going to learn Spanish during COVID, or I was going to start the company that I've always dreamed of starting. And I just went with the company route just because
What
financially, I
inspired
figured.
you to start this company? In terms of what inspired the idea?
Well, it's funny because, like I said, I was in New Zealand and I was with a good friend of mine, Andrew, and we were headed into a glow cave. New Zealand has a ton of glow caves, and we were going into
What's a
our
glow
first
cave?
glow cave.
I'm kind of ignorant.
Y-
Like,
It's just like this dark cave that has like these glow worms that hang,
oh,
down, and you just
word.
go through. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, we were walking in, and he had a Boston Celtics shirt on, and this gentleman came up to us and asked, "Were we from America?" And we were like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" He's like, "Well, you have a Boston Celtics shirt on, and
Mm,
I'm from Massachusetts." And we were like, "Oh, we are too." So it just struck up a conversation, and I thought it was so amazing that this guy, all the way in New Zealand, recognized that A, we're American, and also we possibly might have been from New England. And I was like, wow, I wonder how I can come up with an idea that can, pretty much copy that same thought process
mm-hmm.
of where you from. But I wanted to make it, more personable for like the smaller cities like the Springfield, Massachusetts of the world, because yes, we are from Massachusetts, but we're not from Boston.
Mm,
We're from a smaller area. So I figured area codes would be the best way
mm,
to make that distinguish that you're from Springfield as opposed to Boston. So
right.
there's like a lot of different cities that are like mid to small size cities, like Hartford, Connecticut, West Lafayette, Indiana,
Right.
Henderson, South Carolina. There's all of these cities where they don't have any type of um, once you step out of that city, you can't represent your own city in
Mm,
any other way. You can represent the state, but you can't represent the city. So I figured that it'll be a great idea to come up with something that mid to small size cities can appreciate and represent their cities while they're traveling the world. And I came up with the whole area code idea, and here we are today.
so okay, all right, all right. So this is the idea you had. How did you get it off the ground in terms of what did you do first and second and third and whatnot?
Well, first and foremost, I had to figure out which direction I had wanted to go. Did I want to go with t-shirts? I want to go with hats, sweatshirts, long sleeve tees, colors. Did I want to do drop shipping? Did I want to just do screen printing? There was just a various different things that I had to jot down and figure out. So, started Googling and reading. And I did
Mm,
that for about a month straight every night. And I just kept, gathering more and more information. And I decided I would start with the black t-shirt because all I wear is black. So I
mm,
figured it would represent myself. And yeah, I went with the black t-shirt with the area code, and it just kept growing. And people from all over the world wanted to see colors. They wanted to see, sweatshirts, hats, and various products. So
wow.
I decided to expand the brand once when it became global.
Wow. So
Hmm.
how long did it take from inception to it becoming a global brand?
90 days, man. It didn't take
What?
long at all.
Is
Yeah,
it because of
90
COVID?
days,
Everything
man.
happened
About
so
five.
quickly?
I'm sure COVID has something to do with it because everyone's home, people are shopping online. There's various different elements that, you know, helped it become like a perfect storm for me. I know people, you know, all around the world. I have people, in different
Oh,
countries
nice. So they
helping
were
me
kind of
out
like your
in terms of,
ambassadors, huh?
exactly, exactly. So they're helping me out in various countries on the ground. So it helps
Hmm.
get the word out. Once the people, it's a product, to be totally honest with you, once when you see it, people know me like I need one of those, because
Mm,
people, like you said, you wear yours all the time because you represent in Brooklyn, so
Brooklyn.
I'm the same way. I wear mines all the time. I have, various, products that I do wear, but basically it's either 413 or I wear, the
Hmm.
212 for, Manhattan. Yeah.
Wow. So 90 days for it to be a global brand. So what's next? How do you see this brand growing and scaling, and what are you going to do? What's your vision for it?
it's still early, it's still a baby. What we're trying to do basically right now is just keep improving on the actual product itself. We keep our ears to the street in terms of
Mm,
listening to what consumers want. We're big on, constructive criticism, likes and dislikes about anything from Instagram to our Facebook postings to our sweatshirts to our hats. So, I'm not exactly sure where we're going to be, 3, 4 years from now. Hopefully, it'll be something amazing where, it's familiar with everyone. Um, but right now, we're just focusing on bettering the product, getting the brand out there so people can see it, in terms of marketing and advertise it. And we're just gonna, let it grow,
right,
organically.
right.
Hmm.
How did you market? What's your major form of marketing?
Right now, word of mouth is, definitely has been the strongest, but Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Google, like all the regular channels that most people use. I think Facebook has actually been the best in
Mm,
terms of, outside of, instead of like Instagram and social media stuff, Facebook for some reason, I don't know if it's because people look at the page longer,
mm,
because I did my homework on that. People actually stay on a page of Facebook a lot longer than they do on
mm,
Instagram. Instagram is like 1 to 2 seconds. If
mm-hmm.
you look at the analytical analysis on uh, people's landing times, the landing time on Facebook is much longer than Instagram. So what we try to do is promote much heavier on Facebook, just because people are actually paying attention a little more to the sponsor ads as
Nice.
opposed to Instagram.
And like I said, like you said, COVID probably have something to do with it because a lot of people are home right now shopping
Sure.
online. I know when the pandemic first happened and lockdown happened, I bought so many stuff that appeared in my Instagram. Like I bought some clippers. I bought what else? I bought I bought some for my for the calluses for my foot. It was all kind of random stuff I was buying.
Oh man.
So I could imagine,
That's
people
hilarious.
seeing, and it's practical, right? It's not too much.
Hmm.
It's practical. It's comfortable. And like you say, you start off a t-shirt. Now it's the winter time, so everyone it's hoodie season. So it just makes a lot of sense, man.
Sure.
Yo, man. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, so it's been great, man. And like I said, it's our ears to the streets. We listen to our consumer, and whatever people want, we try to make happen. It becomes difficult just because, once when people know that you are listening, they ask for more.
Mm,
But we don't mind that. We just want to be known for customer service, and my background now is hospitality, and hospitality is all about customer service. So
mm-hmm.
I understand how important it is to keep people happy.
Right. Yo, man, listen, I'm just following your journey. Single parent family, traveling the state and the world. You started in real estate, then you went to trading. and then you went to hospitality, and now you're starting this entrepreneurial endeavor. I mean, you don't seem to have any restrictions in terms of what you could do. Why is that? Why is it? Is it because of traveling that that kind of like you have like a limitless point of view?
You know what? No, the foundation came from my mother and also from basketball.
Mm,
I've been known to surround myself by solid people. I have a great group of friends. I have several mentors that I look up to, who I respect. And, travel has just really opened me up to the world. The world is a lot bigger than the US. Um, and people from, different backgrounds, you just learn so much from people that are not like you.
mm,
And it becomes interesting. It's one thing I've always said to the younger generation: just get out there and get around some people that are not like you, not like
mm,
your neighbor, not like your cousin. Because you'll learn so much because they're so different. Everyone's the same. Everyone pretty much wants the same thing:
mm.
healthy, have a couple of bucks so you can provide for your family and just be happy. um,
Right,
and I think once you begin traveling globally, you just understand that these people here want the exact same thing.
right,
And so
right.
yeah, that is between.
All
Go
right.
ahead, I'm sorry.
And I was gonna say one more question, Kubato, as we wind down. There's probably a lot of people listening to this who's on a 9 to 5. They're not necessarily happy, and they may have some business ideas, and they may want to travel the world like you have. How what would you recommend? They do in terms of getting out of that get over that fear of not having a 9 to 5 check. Uh, you
Well, you,
know.
that's always the toughest part, is the fear. And a lot of people are, they're just used to that check, that steady check that comes once a week. But that limits you. That limits your thinking, because a lot of times you're at work all day long. By the time you come home, you're tired.
Mm,
And if you have a family or if you go to the gym, it just takes up all your time, and now the day is gone, and you can't focus on your next part of life, the next chapter, whatever that next chapter is going to be, whatever your passion is, whatever your hobby is. So it's tough to put the type of time that you need to. So, what I would recommend is, when you get home from work while you're tired, or even on the weekends, just start plugging away, doing your homework, and just focus on, whatever your real passion is, and just keep putting more and more time in on your downtime. And you just have to sacrifice. You're going to be tired, but once you start getting a little traction and seeing results, it will certainly help you put more energy and time into whatever your new endeavor might be.
I could see that. I could see the more research you do, the more realistic it's going to start looking, because you've done your homework and you research the possibilities. What if I did this? What if I did that? You know what I'm saying? So that's really dope advice. Yo, man, appreciate you sharing your journey. Um,
Oh
man, good luck with this endeavor. Like I said, I'm in love with my hoodie. I might have to hit you up
man.
for a couple of more. You know what I'm
Yeah, for
saying?
sure.
This is mine. It's
Let me
gotten a little
know.
faded, but I love it because it looks vintage. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
what I'm saying? So good luck
Absolutely.
with where you're from. Apparel. How can people buy a hoodie or a hat or a t-shirt that
Uh,
represent their hood?
um, where are you from? .us. Where are you from? .us. Or on Instagram and Facebook, it's Where Are You From Apparel, and it's all spelled out. There's no R is ARE and not R. Everything is spelled out. Where Are You From Apparel on Instagram and Facebook. Where Are You From .us on the internet.
Yo, bro, thank you for sharing your journey, man. I think people hearing your story, and I love like how you didn't limit yourself. You were you were all over the place, but it seemed like you always land, in somewhere dope. And so, thanks for sharing. I think it's going to be very inspirational to a lot of people who hear this.
Well, thanks for having me, man. It's people like you who help, get the word out, and I appreciate the love. And thank you so much. And happy holidays.
Yo, happy holidays, yo. It's like 2 days before Christmas. This may come out a little bit, I'm trying to get it out before Christmas, but it may come out around the new year. So thank you, man. And yo, please go support my man Fred Smith. Where you from? .us. Where you from? Apparel at Instagram and Facebook. You'll support it. It's affordable. It's cozy. It's vintage. You can have this, these hoodies and these T-shirts and this hat for like years and years and years. So, man, it's a dope product. Guys, support the Black businesses as well. So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Fred, for sharing your journey. And tune in next time for another episode of Reverse Ambition. All right.
Thank you.
All right, man. Peace, bro.